Okay, so the other day I went to the store,
Yeah.
a cheap store, and I picked up this book, Detective Comics, 80 Years of Batman, which is just kind of like a collection of just random Batman stories.
So Batman is 80 years old?
Yeah. But don't let DC try to actually say that he ages, because that'll ruin everything.
Mm.
So this is the first Batman Detective Comics, number 27, back when he would just kill people.
Oh, he didn't care?
No.
No more.
No, he was horrible.
Did he have a gun or anything?
Occasionally he would shoot people, but he was more of like a breaking your neck type of guy. Like if there was one time where this guy was like, they're bad guys, you know. He's not just killing people. Yeah. This guy was like looking out the window, and Batman was like, "Oh," kick in the head, and just broke his neck. Or he would like hang you from his bat plane by your neck.
Okay.
And then eventually they were like, "That's not a good idea. Kids don't like that."
He's like a role model.
Yeah, of course. Right. He's a role model to serial killers everywhere. So eventually they're like, "Oh, we have an idea. Let's introduce a character, Robin. We'll get this 12-year-old boy, put him in this uniform that is very reminiscent of a Target." So he could. So they would shoot at Robin instead of Batman.
Is that because they're like, kids can't relate to this 40-year-old man?
Kind of, yeah. They were like, we want to get more kids to read Batman. And
is that the Bat plane?
I guess so. Yeah. This book's cool. I don't want to talk about it too much, but there's Batmite.
What year did Batman start?
1941. He came out. Superman was in 38. And
did Superman do anything for Vietnam?
You know, yes and no. Like, he didn't fly in and was stop it! You know? Not like Dr. Manhattan.
They do acknowledge it.
There was, like, war propaganda.
Okay.
Where, for, like, World War II and Vietnam and everything, they would on the first page or, like, the cover of comics, they would have, like, Stalin and Hitler and Batman and Robin throwing tomatoes at him and Superman. Really? Yeah, it was real terrible. So, yeah, 80 Years of Batman. In this book, you get, like, the introduction of Robin, Batgirl, Two-Face, Riddler, some classic villains. I really want to talk about this book. All-Star Batman and Robin the Boy Wonder by Frank Miller and Jim Lee.
Okay.
This book is a mess in every way.
Okay.
In, like, the early 2000s, DC wanted to start, like, a new, I guess, like, imprint or new publishing type thing where they do, like, the best versions of certain characters, and it'll be called All-Star.
Okay. Sure.
So they had All-Star Superman, which was the first one.
Like the sneakers.
Yes. And
they play basketball or something.
They do. Yeah, Superman.
They listen to Smash Mouth.
So Grant Morrison, who is a Scottish writer, and has written many things. He wrote Doom Patrol and Animal Man, things you probably don't know.
I started watching Doom Patrol.
Did you really?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I thought it was interesting.
It is really weird.
It's weird, but I kind of like it.
I really like the first season and the second season are good. I haven't watched the new one yet, but
I've only watched like 4 episodes.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah.
So the guy who wrote that, they gave Superman.
Okay.
And he wrote like the definitive Superman story, All-Star Superman. And then they were like, okay, who's next? Batman, right? Because they're not going to do like All-Star Aquaman, you know,
sure,
who cares?
Yeah.
So they give it to Frank Miller. And Frank Miller is a really great writer. You know the Daredevil show?
Yeah.
Everything in that show is from him.
Like he wrote the
Like
show?
he wrote the comics.
Oh, but he wrote the comics that the show's based off
Yes.
of? Okay.
So he wrote Daredevil, Man Without Fear, Born Again.
So he's working for DC and Marvel.
Yeah. I don't know who he worked for first. I think he worked for Marvel first. He did Daredevil, introduced Elektra, the Hand, made the Kingpin a Daredevil villain because he used to be Spider-Man type villain. And eventually he went over to DC and he wrote Batman Year One. And so after, in the 80s...
So Batman Year One, is that where he hangs out with Michael Cera and...
and Jack Black?
Jack Black, he goes back in time.
Actually,
Through the Book of Genesis.
Of course.
Yeah.
Sadly, no.
Oh.
Sorry to lie to you. But in the 80s, DC, their continuity got so confusing, you know? So they decided to do a little reboot with the story Crisis on Infinite Earths, where the multiverse was being destroyed by the Anti-Monitor. And I think we talked about this once. We talked about him a little bit. Yeah, when we were talking about the Flash.
And I asked if he was a lizard, and you said no.
No, he's just like a big robot man. Okay. And it was just a way to like condense the continuity and make it a little less bad. And because of that, they retold some stories. So Superman got like a new story, Man of Steel, a new series written by, and they gave it to like good writers. So like Wonder Woman was written by George Perez, who he also, I think he's an artist and writer. He drew Crisis on Infinite Earths and then wrote and drew Wonder Woman. And they gave this guy John Byrne, who worked on like Fantastic Four and other things, Superman. And then Frank Miller got Batman from Daredevil. And Batman Year One
makes sense. They're kind of similar.
And this is kind of retelling the origin of Batman. You don't necessarily... It doesn't start with, like, the death of his parents. It starts with him returning to Gotham after training. They don't get into the training.
With Ra's al Ghul or something?
That's mostly in the movies. I mean, he's... Probably now... They retconned. Do you know what that means? Retcon?
I know what retcon
Okay, good. Means. Sorry. They probably retconned that he did train with Ra's al Ghul, but... He was already Batman when he first met Ra's al Ghul.
Okay.
In the, I guess, pre-crisis or post-crisis. It's hard to keep them all straight. Batman Year One is like a straight-up noir type, just classic, simple. It's 4 issues long.
He's like a detective.
Yeah, like it's Batman learning.
Okay.
You know, and this whole story's told within the year, his first year being Batman. And it's almost more of a Jim Gordon story. Where you learn, like, Batman and Jim Gordon show up in Gotham around the same time. Yeah, you could look at that. And they made an animated movie, which is pretty spot on, actually. And you know who voices Jim Gordon in the animated? Bryan Cranston.
Really?
And it's perfect.
He would be a perfect
Jim Gordon. He's the ideal Jim Gordon.
That's awesome.
And
what year did that come out?
2009.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 2000 sometime. He does great. It is straight up a Commissioner Gordon story. He arrives in Gotham. He has a wife, and she's pregnant. And it ends up being a little boy, James Gordon Jr., who later he'll grow up and become like a sadistic maniac. But we're not going to talk about that right now. We could get into it later, maybe.
I didn't know that. Okay. Is that like?
It used to be canon, and then they got rid of it, and now it's canon again.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really like the art style in this.
David Mazzucchelli. I say Mazzucchelli, I don't know how to say it. He also he drew Daredevil Born Again with Frank Miller. So it's like a very dark, gritty, cool... Yeah. So Batman arrives in Gotham, and he starts going after the criminals, but the police are like, we don't trust that guy. So, of course, the police are going after him, and eventually they corner him, and they start, like... blowing up buildings to try to like lure him out.
The police?
The police are all corrupt.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's what you learn. Like, the book's told with the like not narration, but it's almost like journal entries from Batman himself.
Okay.
Where
like
he's
like
kind of where Batman's just talking about all the corruption and all the like. What did you find?
Mickey Mouse?
Yeah! That's, I think, Commissioner Loeb, who is the commissioner before Gordon.
Yeah.
He's fully corrupt. He's working with Carmine Falcone, who is, like, the head mob boss of Gotham City. The main villain of it is kind of Falcone. Even though there's not, like, an end battle of Batman and Falcone are punching each other. Because Falcone's, like, his 80-year-old man.
Okay.
He's, like, the Godfather.
Okay.
You know? And... this book is just like introducing all the or not all the classic characters, but a lot of classic Batman characters. Bruce, Alfred, Gordon, Catwoman is here. Catwoman is like a prostitute before she becomes Catwoman. She's working on the street with like this little girl who's also a prostitute. So it's like, ooh,
a taxi driver, like.
Yeah, yeah. And eventually, when Batman shows up, he kind of inspires her to put on a costume, not help people, but to like rob.
Okay.
And she hates Falcone. She goes after Falcone and ends up like scratching his face.
Was Falcone like her pimp or something, or like the leader of?
Falcone has
The
his
ring
hands
of
in like
prostitution.
everything.
Okay.
Probably. Oh yeah, here she is putting on the costume. It's very simple, just black cat suit. And she breaks into Falcone's house and like scratches his face just to like, show the world that there's a Catwoman.
Yeah.
Which of
mark.
course exactly
Yeah.
makes him very upset. And in the new Batman movie, Falcone is in it and he has the scratches on his face, which I really like. I think that's cool.
So you think the new movie will be kind of like this comic, or?
They're definitely going to use some inspiration from it. They've used this a lot in other movies. Batman Begins is a big one, where that movie is very much Batman and Gordon, And in this
I
book,
was going to say the whole thing about like the police hunting Batman sounds very Dark
that scene
Knight.
is pretty much this.
Yeah.
In that scene, Batman has like a sonar thing where he calls all the bats. That's from this book. And the bats like bite people, including Catwoman and the little Holly. That's her little prostitute friend's name, and they have to get tetanus shots and everything.
What's that guy's name? The guy that makes his gadgets in the Dark Knight.
Oh, Lucius Fox.
Lucius Fox.
Yeah, he's not in this.
I love when
but he is a character in the comics.
I love in the movie when he's like, it's a sonar,
Yeah.
like a submarine. That's right.
Without spending too much time on this book, it's a very bare bones, just like Bruce becoming Batman, learning what it means to be a hero, and Gordon learning that Gotham's corrupt, and you gotta fight dirty occasionally. So like he shows up and he's Lieutenant Gordon.
Okay.
Right, and no one likes him, including Detective Flass, who's like a big jock like asshole who's showing Gordon the ropes, and Gordon's immediately like, "Oh, you are corrupt," and it's like not just you, but everyone, including the commissioner. And Gordon's trying to be a decent cop,
Right.
which they don't like, so they go after him and his family. There's a scene where Flass and a bunch of other cops beat up Gordon, like as I think he's just going to work, and they just like stroll up in like masks and baseball bats and like kick the shit out of him. And then later Gordon is like, I'm gonna run this guy off the road, and then tie him in the snow naked.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, Gordon beats the hell out of this
the
guy.
commissioner? Or?
Flass.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
But it's a very cool story.
Flash. Is it Flash Tamsin or something?
Flash Thompson.
The jock bully type.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Gordon also has a love affair in this, where he has his pregnant wife, but there's a detective, Sarah Essen, I think her name is, and he ends up falling for her. And he's lying to his wife and he feels terrible about it, but he does tell her eventually. This is Falcone. Batman breaks in and ties him up.
Okay.
And he's also naked. There's a lot of naked tying up in this book, which is, maybe Frank Miller's into that.
Yeah.
It's just, great first entry in Batman's, his first year being what he will be for the rest of his life. But before that book, Frank Miller also wrote Dark Knight Returns.
So they wrote year one, and then they're like, this is going to be Batman forever.
Yes.
Like, this is it. We found it. And before that was the 70s stuff. And
where it was like just whatever stories.
So did the books before that not follow like a linear story?
No, they did. They did, but around this time is when DC really came in the idea of like doing story arcs. Came in the idea. Yeah. came upon the idea.
They put a baby in that.
Where it wouldn't just be like Batman number 75 through 79.
Okay.
It would be like Batman year 1 to 4.
Okay.
There's another great moment in that when all the criminals are having like a dinner party and Batman shuts the lights and he breaks in and he's like, "You're done. Like, enough."
Stop.
Batman's like, "I have had enough of you guys." But Frank Miller also wrote Batman Dark Knight Returns, which is my favorite Batman story of all time.
The cover looks familiar. The lightning with the shadowy Batman.
Yeah. Is
there like an animated movie for that?
There is. Okay. There's an animated movie, and Batman Batman vs Superman. The Ben Affleck Batman is very much like this one. Big, bulky, scary Batman. And there's a scene in that movie where there pretty much is this. Like, Batman's jumping off a billboard or something. There's lightning behind him.
Okay.
Or something like that. I don't remember. And this is Batman at the end of his career. So Frank Miller did the beginning of Batman's career and the end of Batman's career.
It's kind of poetic.
It is. And he did this first. He did the end first. And he also drew that book too. So Frank Miller used to draw and write. He drew a lot of old Daredevil too. And his art's very special. Not saying it's bad, because I really, especially in this book, it's very different.
It looks very different. It's like
also the colors in this book I think are so
like watercolor almost.
Yeah, the colors in this book are awesome. And it's the idea of it is Batman coming out of retirement and reclaiming Gotham City from, the criminals and everything. There's like new gangs, the Mutant Gang, not like the X-Men, who are they're like mutant people. These are just like teenagers who call themselves mutants.
Okay, that's lame.
Yeah, and there's the mutant leader who's like this big jacked guy who beats Batman up. And Batman's like, "Oh, I'm old. I can't do this anymore."
Wait, the Mutant Gang.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar. Is there an animated movie with them in it?
This animated movie.
This is the one.
This is the one.
I'm like, this might be the movie I was thinking of.
Well, yeah, they do fight in like a mud hole.
I think that's it. That's the movie I was thinking of.
Man, I brought this up to you too.
Did you?
We should watch this because this movie's awesome.
Okay.
So is the guy that RoboCop?
Yeah.
The guy that plays RoboCop voices Batman in that movie.
Really?
It's so interesting.
Huh.
It's a really good voice actually.
I feel like that fits for Batman.
It does. The art is like crazy, and Batman really goes through it in this. I love this image.
Jacked.
He is. He's like a brick shithouse of Batman. Like, this is my favorite version of Batman, where he's just like bursting through walls and grabbing people. I love it. The Joker's in this book, and you get to see like, because there was no Batman, the Joker was like, I'm not gonna be the Joker anymore. I'm just gonna be like a sad guy, and like he's like almost comatose.
Is he in jail?
He's in Arkham Asylum.
Okay.
Yeah. And in the movie, they really play up like he's a comatose, shell of what he used to be without Batman. And he's kind of like that, but he's like moving, like he's smoking a lot in this book. And then when Batman returns, when the Dark Knight returns, in fact, Joker's like, okay, it's time for lipstick, and he gets the Joker outfit.
This isn't the first time they called him the Dark Knight, is it?
No.
Because it's Returns, so
yeah.
There's probably something. So, does this have anything to do with the Dark Knight movies or no?
In Dark Knight Rises, the third one, they're like, Batman's old and crippled, and he's not Batman anymore.
But other than that,
okay. Maybe a few other things, but not a lot. Jim Gordon's also here. He's very old. I think he's retiring as commissioner.
Got a mustache.
Yeah, man. This is the scene where Batman is fighting the mutant leader in the mud pit, or the mud hole or whatever.
Yeah.
This scene is awesome because it is just Batman, because previously Batman lost to this guy. So he's like, I gotta kill him now, So
it's kind of a Bane in the Dark Knight
exactly
kind of thing.
And way before Bane was even a character.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, so Bane's like a late character?
Bane was made in like the 90s. Like,
okay.
Like 90, I don't know, early 90s. He was introduced like right before the story where he breaks Batman's back. Like he's brand new and then he cripples Batman.
The rise of steroids.
Exactly. Yeah. This scene is awesome because Batman is just like beating the hell out of this guy. He's like stabbing him with his like arm spikes. He like slices the guy's forehead so blood gets in his eyes, and he breaks both his arms, both his legs, and he has this like, not monologue, but he's just yelling at the guy. He's like, this isn't a mud pit anymore, it's an operating table and I'm the surgeon. What? And he's just like beat the hell out of him, and it's so cool. And all the mutant gangs are like, oh, we look up to Batman now. So they become the Sons of Batman. So
they're like a Batman cult.
Yeah,
really?
Like not really.
But does he?
Batman's not like
want that.
No, he's like, I don't want you guys.
Yeah.
But later in the story, when I'm charging on a horse,
what?
There's a okay. So this is pretty much Batman fights the government in this book because they're like, no more Batman, and of course Superman is here, and Superman's working with Reagan.
Okay.
And Superman's like, Batman, stop.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna fight you, like the movie Batman vs Superman.
Is this before Batman vs Superman then?
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
Way before.
Is this like
this is the 80s. What?
Does this lead into it, or is this
the fight between them
completely different from Batman vs Superman?
This is like the movie takes from that or
Okay.
from this, but the fight with Batman vs Superman is here in this book.
Okay.
Batman also gets a new Robin, Carrie Kelly, who's the first girl Robin. Also, that statue right there is them. I love Carrie Kelly. I think she's a great like version of Robin, especially for this like old Batman.
Is this after Dick Grayson?
Yeah. So this is kind of out of continuity.
Okay.
So when you read it, you don't need to read anything else. You could just read this. They do mention Dick Grayson, and he's like grown up and he's not Robin anymore. And there was another Robin, Jason, who died, which is also in normal continuity. But this came out before they actually killed Jason. So some people are like, oh, Frank Miller had the idea to kill Robin before. And he never says Jason Todd, because that's the Robin's name.
Yeah.
He just says Jason.
But
it's
when
whatever.
you refer to someone as first and last name.
Yeah. Here's Batman on the horse.
Whoa.
Yeah. Gotham is like in shambles. And Batman and I think like the Russians.
He looks so skinny.
Yeah, he gets hit by like a nuke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he takes a minute to like.
Okay.
Yeah. Right here. Like Robin has a horse, Batman's on a horse, they're all like charging into battle. It's so crazy, but it's like I don't know, it's so cool.
It's like medieval. It
is. And Batman does get a big armor to punch Superman with. But unlike the movie where Batman's gonna murder Superman with a kryptonite spear, Batman like fakes a heart attack.
Okay.
Because he's like, I'm not gonna win. I gotta get out of here, so I'm gonna die. So Superman's like, oh god. Also, Alfred is still here, and he is decrepit.
Whoa. His face is very long.
Yeah. Alfred also dies in this. Actually, the same time Bruce fakes his heart attack, Alfred also dies.
Really?
Yeah.
Of a heart attack?
Or just old.
Just old.
It might be a heart attack. I don't remember. But there he is, like laying in the snow.
Oh,
it's very sad. It is really sad. And it's supposed to be like Batman's passing the torch to Carrie to be the new savior of Gotham. Even though the heart attack wasn't real, and then it does show Batman with Carrie and the Sons of Batman down in the Batcave, planning to do something next. And that's the end of this book. There are sequels to this book. They're really bad.
Why are they bad?
Because Frank Miller... Okay. Because the same reason this is bad.
Yeah.
He lost his mind. Like, either... I don't know if something traumatic in his life happened.
Batman?
No, Frank Miller.
Okay.
The sequel to Dark Knight Returns came out around 9/11.
Okay.
So maybe that had some influence on him.
Yeah.
Just like it did with everyone else.
Right.
And then after like the sequel to that, and kind of just like everything else he would write, not even Batman related, he would do like his own characters for like independent companies, and you could tell he's not the same guy. His writing's like sloppier, and his art's definitely worse. He's also really old, so
it's got like arthritis.
Probably. But Batman and Robin, or All-Star Batman and Robin, the Boy Wonder. Now, 50% of this book is really good, and that's the art. The art is dope. It's by Jim Lee, who he's drawn a lot of stuff. He did Batman Hush, Superman. When we were talking about Image Comics with Spawn, he's one of the guys that left Marvel.
Okay.
He was drawing X-Men at the time, and he's responsible for X-Men #1, which is like the highest grossing comic of all time, because his art is just so cool. And his art in this is great, and he is drawing a lot of insane things.
The lighting is very cool.
Yeah.
The color too, I like it.
The colors, the art. Looking at the book, you're like, this is the best Batman book I've ever looked at in my life. But then you're reading it and you're like, oh my god, this might be kind of bad. And then you get further in and you're like, oh, this is definitely really bad.
So, wait, who did the art?
Jim Lee.
Jim Lee, but he didn't do the story?
No, that was all Frank Miller. Frank Miller also did 300 and Sin City, way before he lost his mind. So those are like, I love Sin City. I think he wrote and drew that. And 300, he wrote and drew that too. He's great. He used to be great.
300, like the movie?
The movie. Yeah.
I didn't know that was a comic.
It was. Huh. Yeah. Very good. Comic very good. The comic very good. But the comics in like it's not like in this format. It's kind of like a children's book. Like it's really long and weird. I don't know.
There's like pop-up pictures in it.
And... yeah. There's actually a fold out in this book of art. I'll try to find it. I think it's over here. Yeah, it's right here.
The page that bunches up.
Yeah. You know what? I'll get to it when I get to it.
Okay.
So, Frank Miller really wanted to tell the story of Robin.
Okay.
Batman's first encounter with a young Robin. So, of course, it starts with a sexy naked woman here.
Right, yeah.
This is Vicky Vale, who is a reporter for the Gotham Gazette.
Sounds familiar.
She was in one of the movies.
Which one?
The Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson one.
Okay.
Yeah. So, the normal Robin origin is Dick Grayson. Richard Grayson is a young acrobat. Him and his family are acrobats.
Yeah, okay.
They're the Flying Graysons. And one day in Gotham, some mobsters show up. And because everything's corrupt, the mobster, Tony Zuko, is like, you're going to be a circus mob. You know? You could look through that. You're going to be a circus mob. And then they're like, no. And then Tony Zuko, like, takes the bolts out of the trapeze and they fall to their death.
Okay.
Except for
I
Robin.
thought it was just, I didn't know. Is that canon? Or
that is the original origin for Robin back in the 40s and every other time except for this, because like normal, usually they're in the middle of the acrobat performance and then they fall. Yeah.
He's so small.
He is. He's like 12
in
this. But in this book, Frank Miller's like, acrobats falling to their death is really lame.
Yeah.
So here's what we're going to do. They're going to do their feat, they're going to perform, and they're going to land. And then the mother and father are both shot through the head by a sniper.
Oh.
So already completely different. This poor little child, just like Bruce, sees both his parents gunned down in front of him.
Okay. So he's got some connection to...
Yeah. And Bruce and Vicky Vale were in the audience, right? And of course, Bruce is like, oh God.
Were they on a date?
They were. That's why it shows her getting ready. Because, of course, you got to wear the finest lingerie for Bruce Wayne.
To go to the circus.
Yeah, and then to get railed after.
Yeah.
Sadly, Bruce runs away to put on a bat costume before she could get railed. So she's pretty upset about that.
She says that in the comic.
Yeah.
Does she know he's Batman?
No.
But he runs off and
yeah, he's like, I gotta attend to some business, Vicky. And then
like, two people just got shot. Yeah. Where'd he go?
Like, that's really suspicious, Bruce. Did you do it?
So he kills the guy, or he takes down the guy that shot his parents?
Yeah, Batman goes after the guy that shot the parents.
Is that like kind of like him taking out the guy that shot his parents, or supposed to be a parallel?
You see, it should be, but the way it's written is not like that.
Okay.
It's just more like Batman finds this guy, cripples him, and I think like... You know the Scarecrow?
Yeah.
I think he gives this guy a form of the Scarecrow fear toxin. Mm. So the guy's like tripping balls thinking spiders are crawling over him. And then Batman just throws him in the ocean or something. Mm. This Batman will kill... Like this Batman, he's like, I don't kill people. He straight up kills people in this book. Okay. You'll see in a second, it gets really bad. So Vicky Vale is like, I'm a reporter. I'm going to go to the kid. I'm going to make sure he's okay and everything. And then before she could like get over there... Or no, she does get over there and some cops are like, get away from her, you bitch.
Yeah.
And then bats swarm in. And then the Batmobile plows through the police cars and causes like this explosion, probably killing a lot of people. And then Batman grabs young Dick Grayson by the neck and is like, you've just been drafted.
What? He says that?
Yeah, he says, you've just been drafted into a war.
Whoa. That's pretty intense.
It is pretty. And then the next page is Batman's hand over this small child's mouth.
So he's got gas coming out of his fingers?
Yeah, he's like, Batman literally drugs this child.
That seems not...
It's not.
Good.
It's horrible. Also, Vicky Vale, in the explosions the Batmobile caused, Vicky Vale was harmed.
Why did he do that?
Because he's an asshole.
He's just angry?
I have no idea why he did that.
Okay.
None at all. But luckily Alfred was there because he was their ride. Mm-hmm. And Alfred's a very cool character because he's usually the butler, but he's also like a war veteran.
He looks very tough.
He is jacked in this book. He's, he's like a medic
Sure.
here. He's patching her up. While Batman's off with this child who is scared for his life, and the kid's like, "Who are you?" And Batman's like, "Bruh, I'm Batman."
Yeah, like you can't tell
You
by
don't
his suit.
know?
The bat-shaped car.
Yeah. So this is probably the best line in any comic ever, and I'm gonna read it to you.
Okay.
So Robin says, "Who the hell are you anyway, giving out orders like this?" And Batman says, "What? Are you dense? Are you retarded or something? Who the hell do you think I am? I'm the goddamn Batman."
Whoa.
Yeah, totally metal.
He's so mean, though.
Batman is so mean. And then, like, cops start chasing Batman because he kidnapped this child.
Right.
And Batman's like, "We're gonna have some fun, kiddo." And it's just, like, shooting the cops with missiles and everything. And Robin's like, "Oh, God. Please. Look at this. This is just the Batmobile, like, smashing into police cars."
What a way to start out the relationship with your sidekick.
Yeah. Show him that you're a complete lunatic.
Yeah.
And then the Batmobile turns into a plane.
What?
Yeah, it just turns into a plane.
Okay. Can it do that?
Well, I can now.
guess.
Frank Miller says, yeah, so don't argue with him. He'll run you over.
It doesn't look very aerodynamic.
Yeah. So Frank Miller really wants Batman to seem like a character who inspires people. And in Batman Year One, he definitely does.
Yeah.
You know, he inspires Catwoman. And throughout this book, there are characters like Robin, classic Batman characters like Robin and Batgirl and Black Canary.
Is Batgirl his niece in this?
No.
Oh,
Well, Batgirl is Jim Gordon's daughter.
Jim Gordon's.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Not like Alfred's
It was
niece
Alfred's niece.
in
Yeah.
the Batman and Robin.
Is that... Okay, so... Does he kidnap 2 children in this book?
No! Oh,
Or she just, like, wants to do it?
she just really wants
Okay.
to. She's like, I think killing cops
Yeah,
in danger
yeah.
is cool.
She's like, my dad's a cop.
yeah.
I want to get in on that action.
So, do you know who Black Canary is?
A little bit.
So Black Canary is usually a Green Arrow character.
Okay.
But for some reason she's in this book. And she's inspired by Batman. So Black Canary owns like a bar and she's tired of men like grabbing her ass and stuff. Also, here she is. This is what she dresses like at work.
Are you saying because of the way she's dressed that she deserves to have her ass grabbed?
No, I'm saying that she's an asshole. Because these guys are like,
Okay.
"Hey, you're really pretty." And then she kicks their asses. And then she leaves the bar. But it's her bar.
Okay.
Like, it's so weird.
she doesn't close. She's just like...
She never closed. Like, she's like, "I'm done." And then she just leaves.
I bet the opener hates her.
Definitely.
Yeah. They come
yeah,
in,
here she's like beating the shit out of these
dishes
guys.
unclean.
Yeah. I mean, like, some of these guys are actually like trying to fight her.
Right, yeah.
But,
yeah.
you know,
And
she
fights in heels, too.
I don't know. I really like Black Canary. I think she's cool. In this book, she's like a crazy lunatic. Just like everyone else, though. So it fits.
So she's kind of Catwoman-esque. then.
Yeah. The Catwoman is also in this
Is she
book.
a villain?
No.
Oh,
She wants to, like, find Batman or, like, meet Batman or
Oh,
fuck
okay.
Batman.
okay. Like we all do.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. So then the bat plane turns into the bat scuba. The bat sub. So now they're, for no reason.
Okay.
For no reason at all, Batman is like, "We're gonna drive and fly, and we're gonna go underwater, Robin. Look at how cool I am."
Yeah.
Batman really has to prove that he's cool to this 12-year-old boy. And Robin is like,
I guess
You-
it's cool. Does he like it? Or
"No,
is he... okay.
Robin." There's a moment where Robin's like, "You are so queer." Robin literally says that, and Batman's like, "Shut up."
Why does he say that? And then he puts on his leotard and goes and fights
Yeah,
crime.
of course. Yeah, he says that is totally queer.
Does it mean like queer in the sense of like that's strange, or is
I
it
guess. Frank Miller does not know the difference.
like you're as queer as a $3 bill?
Yeah, I guess. So then in Metropolis,
Okay. Is that
it is Superman.
Superman, yeah.
Superman is sitting here with his very tight-fitting pants.
yeah.
I guess he's at home, and on the milk carton it says "Young boy missing, kidnapped by Batman," and it has a picture of Dick Grayson, and Superman's like, "Rah!" So I should mention
Angry.
this is like
Did
Batman.
he break his glasses?
I think he did. I think he just
lasers?
lasered through them.
Okay, so wait, lasers can break glass, or they wouldn't just go through it? Like it's light, right?
I guess. I don't know.
Does it just heat the glass up to a point where it breaks?
just
Wouldn't it
explodes.
just melt instead of?
Anyway, so
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know, man. So Vicky Vale is going into like cardiac arrest
Okay.
because she got like hit by the Batmobile.
Right. Yeah.
And Alfred's like, "Oh God, I can't fix this." So I should mention Batman's been around for like 2 years or so, and he's not friends with Superman or any of the other superheroes. But there are other superheroes
Okay.
that will show
He's not
up
a part of the Justice League.
No, but there is a Justice League. They just don't like Batman because
Okay,
he's a lunatic
reasonable.
asshole.
Yeah, that makes sense. Why is he underwater? What is he looking for?
He goes underwater to get to the entrance of the Batcave.
Oh,
Because
okay.
there's an underwater entrance. And they enter the Batcave, and this is where we get this fold-out.
Okay.
I've never seen this. I've seen fold-outs like this in a comic. Usually one page. Okay?
It's like,
Right?
oh, it just keeps going. Oh, I thought it was gonna be done in it. Oh wow.
This is like-
Is that the Batcave?
This is the full Batcave.
He's got like armor, like actual
Yeah.
suits of
like,
armor.
this is awesome. You know, the
That
art is
cool.
awesome.
He's got a T-Rex.
Yeah. This is like the coolest.
Okay. Okay. It is very cool.
But it's ridiculous
Let me see
that it. Yeah, you gotta be like careful.
It's very cool. But again, it's like the story's based around the art.
It is
It's like,
straight up based around the art.
like why does he need? I don't know. Is that just like rich millionaire stuff where
I
he's
guess.
like,
I mean,
got a
you
samurai
could say, like,
armor suit?
During his adventures of Batman, he's
Like,
done
does
a
he
lot
ever
of things.
wear it?
No,
He like wears it around the house.
never. Not, at least not in this.
Okay.
Um,
Also, another thing.
yeah.
So if he's got this amazing car that can turn into a submarine and an airplane, why does he also need 2 helicopters and a jet and like 12 other cars?
I don't know. I can't answer that for you.
Is the T-Rex alive or is it?
No,
a
it's like a
statue? It's like a
robot.
robot. Okay.
In
That's
some other
pretty cool.
comics, he will use the T-Rex to like fight people that invade the Batcave.
It's like a guard dog. but
Yeah,
to an extreme.
exactly.
You think he has a sign that says like "Beware of loose T-Rex"?
Probably. Yeah. Poor Jim Lee had to draw all that.
He's like,
Um,
"This is what you want." Okay, I
Yeah.
guess.
So next we're introduced to Wonder Woman. And Wonder Woman's like a feminist.
Wait,
like,
do you think that what's the writer's name? I forgot.
Frank Miller.
Frank. Do you think Frank Miller's like off the walls talking to Jim Lee? He's like, okay, it's gonna be 8 pages on this single page.
Yeah, Frank Miller just did
of the
like 10
Batcave.
lines of cocaine.
There's a T-Rex and it's
Yeah.
also a robot.
Yeah.
He's got 8 cars.
So Wonder
Oh,
Woman.
Wonder Woman, okay.
Wonder Woman's here, and she's like a feminist, like man
Sure.
hating. She hates everyone that's
Right.
not her and her people.
So it's not just Batman that's like.
no, everyone in
terrible.
this is like crazy.
Okay.
Like everyone in this is like turned up to 11.
Hmm.
So Wonder Woman shows up at, I guess, the Justice League's hideout,
Mm-hmm.
which just looks like a basement.
Did they not meet at
The Hall of Justice or something?
Solitude or the Cave of Solitude?
No, they
or
just
whatever?
meet at like this building.
Mm.
So now we're introduced to the characters Frank Miller really wanted to have be part of the Justice League.
Okay.
So we got Wonder Woman,
Mhm.
we got Superman,
Yeah.
Green Lantern, and Plastic Man.
Okay.
No Flash.
So I know very little about Plastic Man. He's like
So Plastic Man used to be like
he's like Reed Richards, or he's
okay,
like not. He's
kind of, but
he's made of plastic.
okay. So Plastic Man used to be like a criminal
Okay.
who got into something.
He looks like a criminal.
he's
got a very weird
He's like
smile.
Mr. Fantastic, but Mr. Fantastic can only stretch.
Okay.
Plastic Man can like become things. Like he could become like a plane.
Okay.
It's really weird.
Superman's like, I'm thirsty. He becomes a cup.
Yeah. Yeah. Later, it'll show him becoming things.
Okay.
He becomes something here. I have no idea what this is.
What is that?
I have no idea.
He's just a glob.
Oh, he's a kite right here.
Okay, why?
Yeah. I don't know. So they're here talking about Batman.
Yeah, okay.
And everyone's like, Batman's crazy. No, we should not have him be a member of the Justice League. And Wonder Woman and Superman have this really weird relationship. Frank Miller definitely thinks that Wonder Woman and Superman would like hate fuck each other. Because she's like, no, I'm gonna kill Batman. And Superman's like, shut up. And then they make out.
Her and Superman?
Yeah.
Just in front of the other Justice League members?
Yeah.
Wow. Sure.
That's it.
Okay.
Also, Batman, I've never like seen Batman laugh like a
It's like
maniac.
crazy.
But this Batman is deranged. He's like running across rooftops, like, ha, ha, ha. it is bizarre, dude.
It's like the Batman representation of Frank Miller.
Yes, it's true. Here's Alfred, just
He's like
punching
ripped.
a punching bag. He should be Batman.
He could be.
Mentally, he is way like
He's like
he could be
more sane,
yeah, and just as jacked.
fit. He's caring.
Yeah. So Batman like leaves Robin in the Batcave.
They should make Batman electoral. Like you have to vote to see
Yeah.
who becomes Batman.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So Batman leaves Robin in the Batcave to also look at all these weapons that Batman has in the Batcave. Yeah.
Does he ever use any of those?
No, but Robin sure picks up one.
Okay. Okay. so did Batman like go back in time or something?
He must have.
Because there's so much stuff that's like
yeah.
Renaissance.
I
And,
know. It must have been some adventure where he did time travel
Okay.
or something.
Do we not see that? Or-
Not in this.
Okay.
No mention to it at all.
okay.
Um,
Or he's just like a collector.
I guess. Maybe a
Okay.
bit of everything. I don't know.
I guess.
So now let's take a hard left
Okay.
to Batman being nuts and talk about Commissioner Gordon. It's a little late to introduce him into this book. It's like a good 4 to 5 issues in where you first meet Gordon and his daughter Barbara and his wife, who now okay, Batman Year One, Dark Knight Returns, and this. Frank Miller kind of made his own little pocket universe
Okay.
of just his books that are all in continuity, but also Dark Knight Returns and Year One are also in normal continuity. But this isn't.
So it's its own thing.
This is its own thing, but it
Also
but
takes
it's
from
but it
those,
also
like
this is where it
parallel
gets-
universes
sure.
or something.
So
Okay.
Batman Year One is the basis for normal Batman and normal continuity,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also the basis for like this, for like Frank Miller's own continuity. So it's like the starting point for 2 different continuities.
Okay.
So remember from the first from Year One,
Yeah.
I said Jim Gordon cheats on his wife. You see like lasting effects of that. So his wife.
Wait, doesn't Jim Gordon have a son in that? Is he in this too? Jim.
You know
Jr.
what's
or something?
crazy? He's not.
Okay.
But
He's just older, or he
I
just doesn't
guess.
live
I
with
think he is older. He's definitely older than Barbara, who will
Okay.
become Batgirl. She's like 15 or 16, so maybe he's like 18.
Batman's got a lot of children
He
working for
really
him.
does. So you see Jim Gordon's wife is like an alcoholic.
Okay.
And later she'll get into like a car accident, and I think she'll die. And Jim's like, oh, I feel like responsible for this. I drove her to this because I cheated on her.
Yeah.
And just to show how crazy and terrible Jim Gordon is in this book, when his wife's in the hospital, he's like, oh, I really miss Sarah. You know, I really miss the woman I had the affair with.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
Sarah's not his wife's name.
No,
Okay.
his wife's Barbara.
I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, also,
He's like, wait, after his wife dies, he's like,
I think,
"Oh,
I
miss
don't,
Sarah.
I don't remember if she dies, but she gets into a car accident and is
Okay.
not okay after.
That's
Um,
terrible.
Also, there's
So
yeah.
Batman's a terrible person. Wonder Woman is
a terrible
a
person.
terrible person. Jim Gordon's a terrible. What? Why is everyone just terrible?
I don't know. Who are we rooting for
I
in this
don't
book?
know.
I guess Robin, but soon we're gonna see just how terrible he's become hanging out with
Okay.
Batman. I'm trying to look for.
Batgirl? Maybe we
Okay.
like her.
So hold this for a second.
Yeah.
So in Batgirl, in Barbara's room, there's this poster of Batman, which is also this right here, which I thought was kind of cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah. And she's like inspired by the craziness of Batman to eventually put on a costume.
Does she make her own costume?
I think she does.
So I have another question, but I'll
Yes.
wait because.
No, you can answer it
Okay.
or ask it.
So, you said this is connected to The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah,
Kind of,
like
right?
before that happens.
Oh, it's before that happened.
yeah, because Dark Knight Returns. Okay,
Because I was gonna say, are the children of Batman
no,
in any part of this?
yeah, like Dark Knight
that's
Returns
after,
is like the end
Oh, okay.
of whatever Frank Miller's.
So I have
story
another
is.
question about the children of Batman.
Okay.
Do they like fight crime,
Um,
or do they still do crime, but they're just like Batman lovers?
I honestly don't remember.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense if they like wanted to do the same thing that
Yeah.
he did.
You see, in Dark Knight Returns, Batman's kind of crazy,
Okay.
but it makes sense because he's old. Here, he's like young and like ready to murder people.
Okay.
Batman ends up running into Black Canary. Black Canary doesn't really do anything in this book except for punch people and then meet Batman and then they make out.
Okay.
And then they like literally just bang on the docks. They just bang like outside
Why?
during like a storm.
They like just met.
Yeah.
Huh.
And they're just like make out.
I guess. I mean.
Yeah. And then I think she just leaves the book. Like
So what's the point?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I think she does hang out for a little bit, but
Man, Batman's horny in this book.
he is, man. Oh, Batman gets the guy that killed Robin's parents after he throws him in the ocean or something. He like gets him and he's like, I'm gonna bring him to Robin, so we
Wait,
can see the man.
I thought he already did that. Didn't he already throw him in the ocean?
He did, but then he like got him.
Well,
Or I
he's
think
not dead. He's still alive.
I guess so.
Okay. He had like a pirate adventure.
Yeah.
Now he's back.
So Robin, you get to see what Robin's up to, and he's like killing rats.
Robin have an axe?
He does. He took it from the medieval Batman
Yeah, okay.
collection.
Okay.
And Robin's just killing rats, and he's like starving. Like Robin's like, Batman hasn't gotten me food. I'm dying down
It's
here.
terrible.
Yeah.
Is he like trying to build character
I
in it
guess.
or something?
And
Have you've watched Always Sunny?
yes,
So this Dick Grayson is like the Charlie Day of
yes,
the Batman universe.
definitely.
Okay.
So Batman brings the guy that killed Robin's parents to him,
Okay.
right? And Batman's like, okay, you could kill him or you could like not. It's up to you, Robin.
Is it a test?
It's
He's,
a
like,
test.
testing him? Okay.
So Robin's like, all right, I have an axe.
I mean, I've already got the axe.
And of course, he doesn't kill him. He does slice his face though, which,
Oh, God.
which might be worse because that has to live like this.
Just cut his teeth out.
Yeah,
That'll be fun. I mean,
Yeah.
at least I didn't kill him. He won't be able to eat for the rest of his life.
Yeah. So
Is that
so then,
Joker?
yeah, we get introduced to the Joker in this, and
He's
this
very white.
he is a clown.
Well, yeah. All white people.
This Joker is so weird.
Okay.
You meet him after he finishes banging this woman,
Okay.
and then
It's not like Harley Quinn or anything.
no.
Okay.
And then he like punches her in the face and then chokes her with, I think it's her tie. Like he just kills her with her tie and then puts the tie on. And then he like goes outside to meet some goons, including this woman.
Oh God.
Yeah. She's in Dark Knight Returns also.
Really?
Yes. She's just like a Nazi.
Nazi sympathizer.
Yeah.
With swastikas. on
And
her
she's
tits?
working with the Joker.
Okay.
So now we'll cut back to Batman and Robin. And Robin is like, bro, I am starving. I haven't eaten anything in forever. And I think Alfred sneaks down like a Big Mac or something. Alfred does not go down to see Robin.
Why?
Because Batman's like, don't go near him.
Oh,
or something.
okay.
I have to like mold him into a warrior or something. And Robin's like, oh my god, a Big Mac.
That's so sad.
I
That's
know. And then
terrible.
Batman shows up. It's like, Alfred, what are you doing? Don't do that. You can't feed him. You can't feed him. And Alfred's like, Master Bruce, he's not going to eat rats. And Bruce says, I ate rats. I've been eating rats. Like, when I was training, I ate so many rats. He could stomach a few. If he
He
cares.
says that?
Yeah, he's like, I did. I ate rats. Like when he was training to become Batman,
Yeah.
he ate rats to survive.
That's awful.
Yeah, and now he wants
Alfred's gonna call like CPS.
to literally. So then,
The Green Lantern.
Yeah,
signal?
Green
I didn't know
Lantern.
he had his signal.
well, no, he's just shining his
he's
ring
just
up in
doing
the
his
air.
own thing, okay.
And Batman's like, oh god, I hate Green Lantern. So Batman is like, all right, Robin, let's go kill Green Lantern.
Okay.
Put on, or no, first.
Wait. Wait. That took a second. Wait.
Yeah, Batman's like, all right,
Why? Just because he hates
because he doesn't
him?
like him.
Okay.
He's not gonna kill him,
Okay,
but they definitely.
couldn't Green Lantern like kill Batman?
Yes,
Okay.
we're gonna get to-
Yeah.
Frank Miller has thought of that.
Okay.
Okay. So, first there's like this little montage of Robin. He sees like a statue of Robin Hood, and he starts like shooting bows and arrows or some shit. And he's like, I'm gonna put on a costume or something. Meanwhile, Batman goes to visit Green Lantern.
Yeah.
And Green Lantern's like eating a hot dog, just waiting.
Yeah. Is that sauerkraut he's got on?
Yeah.
Mm.
And Batman's like, Hal Jordan, what do you want? And Green Lantern's like, how
Is that
do
his name?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, how do you know my name? And Batman's like, I know everything. What do you want?
It's like a Batman.
Yeah, exactly. And Green Lantern's like, the Justice League hate you. Like, you need to bring the child back to the authorities.
Yeah.
You've kidnapped him for days.
Made him eat rats.
Made him eat rats.
Well, he doesn't know that, but
Green Lantern's like, I could have figured
I
it
know,
out.
yeah.
You live in a bat cave. It's
rat
either
cave.
it's either bats or rats, and neither are good.
I mean, bats are like sky rats.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So Batman's like, Green Lantern, you want to talk? I'm not going to talk to you here. You're going to meet me in this very specific location and this very specific day. It's definitely not a trap. Wink, wink.
Okay.
And Green Lantern's like, okay, I'll meet you there.
Really?
Yeah. Green Lantern's like, okay. And then Catwoman shows up. So, meanwhile, Catwoman is just like in her house.
I didn't even know she was in this book.
She's literally in it for maybe 2 pages.
Okay.
So Catwoman's chilling in her house and the Joker shows up.
She was in year 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Joker shows up and he's like, oh, we should kill the Batman together. And Catwoman's like, okay.
Does she hate Batman?
No.
Oh.
Well, no.
She just likes money.
Yes. Joker's like, I'll pay you.
Okay.
And then Batman shows up back at the Batcave.
Mm-hmm.
And Robin has like a makeshift Robin costume with a hood. And Robin's like, call me the Hood. And Batman grabs the hood and like...
yanks
it over his face, and
Aw.
he's like, that's the first thing any criminal's gonna do. And then they're
That's
gonna like...
true.
Yeah. So, Batman's like, lose the hood, you're Robin. Instead of Robin Hood.
Why? Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
That's lame, but I get it.
Yeah. So then, this might be my favorite issue in the entire book, because this series gets canceled. It gets canceled before it's finished.
Okay. So they just leave you on a like.
Yeah. So what do you know about Green Lantern?
He's got a ring, and he can fly. I watched the movie.
Oh,
but
God.
it was a long time ago.
Okay,
and
yeah.
That's all of my knowledge.
Okay, well,
I know that like the different colors, I
Yeah.
think represent different things, like yellow
like
sphere
emotion.
or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Yellow sphere, and Green Lantern's weakness is yellow.
So is green like envy or greed or
It's will.
something? See, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
It does not. No.
I guess if you're tying it to like nature,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's supposed to be the emotional spectrum, all the colors,
Okay.
but will is not really an emotion.
So Green Lantern's on the spectrum.
Yes. There's red, which is rage.
Mm.
Yellow is fear. There's also like purple and blue, and I think purple is compassion. Or no, pink or something is
Okay.
compassion.
But
Whatever.
that's all I know.
Okay. Green Lantern is Hal Jordan. He used to be a pilot.
Okay.
Dying alien gives him his ring. He becomes Green Lantern. We can talk about him one day. I actually like Green Lantern a lot. There's a lot of them. They're like space cops.
Okay.
But his weakness is yellow.
Okay. The color yellow.
The color
or, like-
yellow.
Okay.
Which kind of sucks.
Yeah. Does he know that green is just yellow and blue?
Well, yeah, but I don't know.
Okay.
So, well, maybe if he works with a Blue Lantern, then they can overcome the. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Batman knows that Green Lantern's weakness is yellow. So Batman's like, okay, Robin, me and you are gonna paint the place entirely yellow, including
No.
ourselves. So Robin and Batman are
They look
completely.
gold.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
They paint their faces, their costumes, completely yellow.
They paint everything yellow, and then Green Lantern walks in. He's like, "Well, I guess I can't do anything."
Yeah, Green Lantern's immediately like, "What is this? Are you gonna kill me?" Also, Batman's drinking lemonade, which I think is so
That's
funny.
awesome. Like of all the parts of this comic,
Yeah.
that's probably the best part.
I
That's
agree.
kinda
This is
fun.
my favorite part of the book.
Okay.
Because Green Lantern's like, "What are you doing? Why is it yellow? What is that little boy? Is that the kid you kidnapped?
Yeah.
Did you put him in a costume?" And Batman's like, "No, that's not him."
Did you paint him yellow?
Yeah. And Batman's like, "That's not the boy." And Green Lantern's like, "You have another child that you're like putting
How many
in
kids have you
danger?"
kidnapped?
Exactly. And Batman's like, "Don't talk to me like that."
Yeah.
And Green Lantern punches Batman.
yellow man.
And Batman's just like letting him punch him. You know, he's like, yeah, you can get a few punches in before I cripple you. You know, and Robin's like, don't worry, leave the crippling to me. And Robin like, Batman takes his ring off, and then Robin is like, I'm gonna do like a somersault, and then kick Green Lantern in the throat.
What?
So Green Lantern, oh no, he like jabs him in the throat.
Okay.
And Green Lantern is like dying.
Wait,
like,
so just like anyone could take his ring off?
it's
Not,
I
like,
mean,
tied to his soul or
not
anything?
not anyone but Batman, because
Okay,
he's Batman.
sure.
So to show
because he's yellow.
yeah.
Okay.
And so to show how crazy now Robin is, Robin's first instinct is to just kill this man.
Okay.
Just kill Green Lantern. So Robin just jabs him in the throat, and Green Lantern's like, he needs a tracheotomy.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
really?
like Robin does some damage. And Batman's like, what did you do? And he starts punching Robin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, okay. Wasn't the whole point to like come here and beat him up?
Well, Batman's like, yes, but I wanted to beat him up. You're 12, Robin. You can't do that yet. You
hits
can't be
Robin.
crazy. What?
He hits Robin.
Yeah, he straight up punches Robin here. A lot. And Green Lantern's like,
Like
like choking to
choking.
death.
Okay.
And Batman's like,
That's
great,
terrible.
now I gotta bring him to the hospital.
That's. Oh, did he wipe the paint off his face?
He takes his mask off. Like, he
Oh,
didn't
okay.
paint all of his
Yeah,
face, just
okay.
like with the mask
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
hide. So Batman performs a tracheotomy on Green Lantern because Batman, I guess, is a surgeon.
He's like, this is not a fight. This is an operating table.
Exactly. And then this is probably the best part of the book
Okay.
because it's also the end of this.
Yeah, okay.
I think there's actually another, like a final issue that got released that isn't in this version. That shows like, just like Green. It shows Gordon being sad that his wife's like dying, and then he calls the woman he had the affair with. He's like, "I missed you." Yeah, just to show how scummy Frank Miller's Gordon is. But the end of this book is Batman is like, okay, Robin, maybe I made you into a lunatic, and looking back on it, probably wasn't the best idea. So let's go. You know, like let's leave Green Lantern here. He'll be okay. And they're like, again, the art is awesome because you see the paint like washing off of them.
That is pretty cool.
And they go.
So wait, the paint didn't dry? Because I'm pretty sure if you painted yourself all yellow and then you just stood in rain,
Yeah,
it like, wouldn't wash all the way off.
probably.
But whatever.
Comic paint.
That's fine. It looks cool.
It looks
We'll take
awesome.
that, yeah.
Yeah. And Batman takes Robin to his parents' grave.
Okay. To bring him back, ground him a little bit.
Exactly. And he's like, the one thing you never got a chance to do was mourn. You know, you need to mourn your loss.
Right, because you took him by the throat
yeah.
and dragged him to your cave.
Yeah,
immediately.
Batman, you never had the chance because you didn't let him have it.
Yeah.
And it's this cool image of Batman and Robin both like hugging. Almost like
They're both mourning
like
their parents.
Bruce is
or
like
something.
hugging his younger self.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Also, some other things that either left out or are in the other issue. You find out that the person that killed his parents were actually working for the Joker. Why? That never gets answered. 'cause
The guy
he
who
was
killed
canceled.
Dick Grayson's parents?
Yeah, the Joker hired him for some reason.
But we don't find out because it's canceled.
Because it's canceled,
Okay.
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
So what's the name, you told me about this, what's the name of the Robin that's Batman's son with?
Damian?
Okay.
Yeah, Damian Wayne is Batman's son with Talia al Ghul.
Because this almost feels more like Damian Wayne, because you said he's like kind of unhinged,
Yes. This, honestly, there is some parallels here with this Dick Grayson and Damian, including the hood, because Damian also is the Robin who has a hood. But
Do people ever try to pull the hood over his face?
I'd imagine constantly. Batman, I think Batman threatens Superman in this book.
Okay.
He's like, you are going to go get this, like, surgeon because Vicky Vale was dying.
Yeah.
You're going to go get, like, this doctor who can help Vicky Vale, or I'm going to kill Lois. Like, that's what he says. And
okay.
Superman's like, why? What is the matter with you?
Like,
And-
you're the one that hurt her.
Yeah.
In the first
It
place.
is your fault.
Yeah.
And now you're going to kill Lois? Why? And Batman's not going to kill her, but you never know.
This Batman might.
This Batman straight up might. He'll run her over. Also, this Superman like doesn't fly. Like he jumps.
I guess that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, so Frank Miller's like Superman's so early in his career as Superman, he doesn't know how to fly yet, and Batman has this moment of internal monologue where he says, Superman doesn't even know he can fly yet.
But how does Batman know he can fly?
Because he's Batman.
Because in this book, he knows everything.
Yeah, Batman knows absolutely everything about everything.
This almost feels like a Batman fever dream.
Yeah.
Like, this is all happening in his head.
This is like Dick Grayson's nightmare.
Huh.
Like
if
the book ends with Dick Grayson waking up, I'd be like,
okay,
thank God.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Also, the Joker, early Joker goes to Catwoman.
He wasn't in it. He was in like 2 pages. Like,
yeah.
What was that? Just because.
Maybe if...
It's like, well, we haven't seen the Joker in this
Exactly.
one.
Maybe if it got finished, there'd be more Joker.
But this is before he gives up and whatever.
The Joker in this, I said, he goes to Catwoman to team up with her. And then it's like, it just shows that the Joker didn't want to team up and he just like beat up Catwoman to like lure Batman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Also, the Joker has a dragon tattoo on his back.
Like a Chinese dragon?
Like, yeah, he has this insane tattoo.
Alright, that's kind of cool.
It's like literally for no reason.
But it is cool.
It is cool. But I've never seen the Joker.
Yeah.
But then in Suicide Squad, Jared Leto's Joker has tattoos.
But not a cool tattoo.
But not a dragon. He has damage written on his forehead, which is not very
He's got like Pete Davidson tattoos.
Oh my god. That Joker is
Doesn't he
literally
have, like,
Pete Davidson.
A Mars Attacks tattoo?
He must.
I think he does on his chest.
He probably does. Wait, Joker or Pete Davidson?
No, Pete Davidson.
No, Pete Davidson does. Yeah.
He could play the Joker.
He could play
like
that Joker
a bad
perfectly.
Joker.
Yeah. But yeah, best things about this book, the art is great.
Mm-hmm.
The fight with Green Lantern is awesome. Just seeing Batman and Robin murder Green Lantern. Or really, Robin murder Green Lantern. Oh, also, Batman is like, we staged a public appearance from Dick Grayson, who's like, no, I'm fine. Batman didn't kidnap me.
That's awful, though.
Yeah.
Did he make him say that?
Yeah, like I think... Yeah.
He gave him a script.
He was like, here's your script, now go in front of these reporters and say this. But then you're going to come back here and put on the costume and we're going to kill the green guy.
So was this made after The Dark Knight Returns?
Yeah.
But it's before?
Yes.
Okay.
So Dark Knight Returns was published in like 85 or something, 86. This came out in like 2000 something. But in the way of, the story, Dark Knight Returns is like the end of Batman's lunatic actions, and
it's like years later.
Yes.
He's old.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sometime after this book, Dick Grayson will be like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore for obvious reasons. And Batman will get another Robin who dies. And then Jason Todd, I guess. They never... I think they did do like a prequel or something after this.
He mentions Jason in The Dark Knight Returns. Then. Okay.
And then after Jason dies, Batman stops until Dark Knight Returns, where he comes out of retirement. But yeah.
So the thing about this comic...
Yes.
It's good to have characters that aren't perfect. Like, I get that.
But you need to have someone to root for in the comic.
But at a certain point, like, Batman can't be a villain who kidnaps children.
Yeah.
It kills people.
Yeah. Like, he never, like, breaks someone's neck.
Yeah.
But he is running people over. I've never read a Batman book quite like this one. So I definitely recommend it. You could probably find it for $1. It's still too much to pay for it.
They should pay you.
Dude, the cover price for this book is $20 for an incomplete story.
Is that how much you paid for it?
No, I think I literally got this for $3.
Okay.
I found it online and I was like, oh wow.
Nobody wants it.
No one wants it. I'll take it.
I mean, it's nice to have, you can't have the good without the bad.
Exactly. And the art is great.
Yeah.
The art is awesome.
The effects look very cool.
Yeah. Jim Lee, I think Jim Lee's probably my favorite Batman, or at least one of my favorite Batman artists. Because Jim Lee, for me, is definitely up there. And in the way of Batman, he draws, like, a spot-on Batman, There's not really anyone that...
Like, he looks like Batman.
He looks like Batman.
Yeah.
Like, that's Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks like the Ben Affleck.
He
Batman.
does. But yeah, there's a lot of Batman artists out there. Sorry to Jim Lee for having to deal with Frank Miller, because that was probably torture.
Were they like friends?
No.
No.
No way was like 70-year-old Frank Miller friends with 25-year-old Jim Lee.
You never know.
Frank Miller probably rolled up on
Yeah.
like Jim Lee's house and was like, "Hey, I really want. I'm doing this Batman book, and I
Snorts a
want."
line and he's like,
Yeah. You want to do some cocaine?
"So listen, Batman kidnaps a child.
Yeah, and then puts him in a costume and kills Green
Yeah.
Lantern.
Makes him eat rats."
He calls him retarded. It's horrible. Batman abuses this child, dude. Classic. One of the all-time great Batman stories, Batman and Robin. The Boy Wonder. All-star Batman and Robin.
So what if you go to see the new Batman movie? What's it? It's just the Batman.
The Batman.
Okay.
And then they do this.
And then they do.
I will shit myself.
Yeah.
I'll shit in the theaters.
There's probably not a Robin in it, right?
Nah. They might like allude to one at the end maybe, which will be cool. I'd like to see Robin in a movie again.
Like it's Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh,
And
God.
he's like, sometimes I go by Robin.
It's horrible. Also after this, so they did All-Star Superman first, and then this, and this completely destroyed the chances of any other character getting, because after this they canceled that line. They were like, no, we're not doing All-Star anymore. It's done.
But there was other ones, right?
No.
Oh, I thought you
was-
said there was for Superman and stuff.
Well, there was Superman first, and then this came out
okay,
and
got it.
destroyed the chances of anyone else getting one.
So it was just Superman and Batman, and then
Yep.
this tanked so bad.
That they were like, no Wonder Woman, no Flash, none of them. And then many years after this,
Was the Superman one good?
it was great.
Oh, okay. That's
Which is-
you said
which is
that's
a
like
shame.
the prime
Because
Superman.
you read that and you're like, oh yeah, now I want to read that, but for Batman. And you're like, oh no, this is bad.
Is it the same Superman that's in this comic?
No,
Oh.
no, like I think All-Star Superman is even, that could even be, oh no, never mind.
What?
It can't be in continuity. I just remember it. There's some like significant things that happen at the end
Oh, okay.
that could definitely not be in continuity. We should talk about that. Superman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably will.
We probably will.
Yeah.